Okay, this podcast is introducing your historical inquiry, planning your research. The first task you have is to research the lived experience of an Australian soldier in World War I. Your inquiry question is what was the lived experience of South Australian soldiers in World War I and how did this impact on the Australian society? For this task, you're required to research an Australian soldier's involvement in World War I, discuss and evaluate their war experiences, and create a persona card that covers the key events of their life. Step 1 will be to identify a local South Australian World War I soldier using the virtual RSL. Using this website, what you can see is that you can go through, you can explore by individuals, memorials, conflicts or units. If we explore by conflicts, we can see soldiers that were involved in all of the conflicts that Australia has fought in, including World War I. By World War I, you can see the timeline and key events and battles such as the Battle of Poitiers. For the Battle of Poitiers, you can go through, read about the battle and key information. You can also find soldiers who have been mapped to that campaign. So we can see down here from the 21st Infantry Battalion and the 10th Infantry Battalion. We'll click on the 10th because that's one of the South Australian ones. You can also see that there are 7,483 soldiers that you can choose from who fought at the Battle of Poitiers. And then here we have the information for our Lance Corporal Hugh Phillips Leake. Back to the assignment. Once you've identified a South Australian soldier using the virtual RSL, you're going to develop your key inquiry questions using the historical inquiry process. Again, we've attached a link to the inquiry process so you know what all the stages are. Make sure that you're checking back at this. As you can see, today we're on planning, we're sequencing key events, identifying key concepts and researching information on our key inquiry questions. Step 3 is to use, locate and evaluate historical sources in order to answer your key questions. Once you've located the historical sources, you need to use this document in order to help you find current, reliable information. I found that most of the information can be found on a record search using the NWWI. Use a name search. Make sure you choose your conflict of World War I. And then when we go back and look at the information about our soldier, we can see his service number. Copy that across. And we can see his family name is Leake. Copy that across. And then if we do a search, we can see we've located Philip Hughes Leake and he has the correct service number. And then over here, we'll see a digital copy, which shows us all of his primary source documents. So we can see in here that we've identified his enlistment for service, which shows his name, where he was born. He was 18 years when he signed up. He was a clerk, and all other information that we can use as part of our research. We can see multiple pages, so we can see that there's a fair amount of information here on Philip Hugh Leake. We can see that he was enlisted at Keswick and his next of kin was his mother, and he was unmarried. We can see a range of pieces of information about him. So, locate, organise and evaluate your historical sources. So we've been through how to select a person of interest, we've been through how to find them on the virtual war memorial, and we've been through how to identify your inquiry questions. Remember to use the Coggle website in order to create your inquiry mind map, and you can use this list of questions to get you started on your inquiry questions. Once you've identified all of your inquiry questions, you need to discuss your I wonder question and write it below. For this assignment, I need you to define these historical terms and I need you to define them in the spaces below. If you can't fit them in the table, you can include them in the space here. Once you're done, I need you to locate your primary and secondary sources and add them to this document. If you have any questions, as always, just post me on Google Classroom.